Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to take a look at crypto bubbles first to see what coins are doing pretty well today. As you can see, a lot of green starting off the new year, so that's very good to see. You know, it's a breath of fresh air after the crazy price action, bear market bearishness that we got over the last few months here in crypto. I think this is a welcome relief. And it was something that we were expecting for the month of January, a little bit of relief rally here. Let's see if the relief rally is going to continue as the weeks and months go by. We're going to take a look at the charts to see if you know why I'm excited about January for crypto here, and we'll see if it's going to be able to continue on for crypto. But let's get started here. You can see that. For today, the coin of the day that's making a lot of money for people is FTN, okay, fast token. And then after that, you have Pepe coin up 17%, and then you got Filecoin up 15%. But you also got the theme that I'm seeing right now is just the meme coins here. You got Bonk up 6.9%. Pepe is a meme coin, right? Then you got Pengu up 5.9%. Some other coins that are not related to meme coins is like Aptos is up 10.5%. Okay, AVAX up 8.4%. So there, it seems like there's green across the board. Things are looking really good for crypto, or at least for the first day of the new year. Thank God, right? Jeez, you know, answer our prayers for like a decent month here in crypto finally, right? But yeah, let's get into the charts here. We'll first start off with Bitcoin like we normally do, and then I'll try to take a look at some of these meme coins like Pepe, and maybe Pudgy Pengu coin, and then we'll take a look at some of your requests here. If you guys have any requests, go ahead and shoot away. I am doing requests as well. All right. But yeah, right now we see that the price of Bitcoin is at 88,199. I'm on the daily time frame. I got this VRVP indicator fired up and ready to go. I'm expecting Bitcoin to continue making higher lows, frustrating the crap out of the bears that are trying to short sell the market. And I'm expecting Bitcoin to actually, if it's going to continue being bullish, to jump up really fast and furious, at least to like the $90,000 level here, where we got you know, a little bit of a resistance here from the VRVP indicator here. We got some volume here, and we also got some more volume here at 91,400. I already marked these levels off on the chart, but I also got the VRVP indicator here showing me that these are the levels to watch. If for some reason Bitcoin decides to drop down on us and just fake us out, and maybe this ends up being like one kind of big giant bear flag or whatever, then we could see Bitcoin drop down to 84K, 84,500 is a high volume node here before it makes its way on down to like $80,000, which we haven't seen since November 21st here. So I think we're safe to see higher prices here for Bitcoin, and I'll show you why. Let me just take off the VRVP indicator here so it doesn't clutter up the charts here. The reason why I think we can go to higher prices is if I look at the momentum indicators here on the higher time frames here. I mean, I can show you the daily time frame. The market cipher B is showing that we had a green buy dot, and MACD is showing that we also have some green buying pressure. But more specifically, like the 3-day chart is looking really good here for Bitcoin, where we got money flow is starting to increase. At any point, if it keeps doing what it's doing, we should see money flow going into the green. And also here on the MACD, very important here, we see that we have a MACD crossover here to the upside. Okay, and when that happens, you can expect to see some green candles showing up on the buying pressure side, and that's exactly what we've been getting over the last few days here, is that we've been getting some buying pressure showing up on the 3-day chart. So that's good to see. Let's see if it looks like that on the 5-day chart here. The 5-day chart, we don't actually have buying pressure in the green. We still have selling pressure, but it's dying off. It went from red to light pink here. And the thing that I do like to see here, that could be the beginning of something good and sweet here, is that we have this blue moving average is starting to curve up. And you're going to need that blue moving average to start curving up and actually get above this orange line. And if that happens on the 5-day chart, then you should see some green buying pressure candles showing up here you'll get the MACD crossover, and then eventually you'll get the MACD flip to the upside here. And that would be great for like January and February, if that could happen. Now, you know, don't expect this to just, you know, be a surefire bet like, oh yeah, we're done with the bearish in the bear market and the selling pressure here, because the selling pressure could, you know, die off and then start increasing again. It could do something like this, where we see, like, you know, some candles here, but like, you know, the selling pressure could die off and then start increasing again. So that we don't want to see. We want to see selling pressure continue to die off and continue going into green with some green buying pressure here, okay? And I'll show you right here some previous chart history here where, you know, selling pressure has died off, like back here in May of 2024, only for it to start increasing again. We do not want that. We got to be on the lookout to make sure that doesn't happen here, okay? But we want something like this, where selling pressure dies off, and then we get the MACD crossover and the MACD flip, and then we end up seeing some buying pressure showing up. That is what we want to see for the month of January and the month of February here. But that is why I'm cautiously optimistic on crypto and Bitcoin right now. And you know, if that's the case, then I think the coins that got beat up the most, like the meme coins, are probably going to start making some people a lot of money who are willing to take the risk right now of getting into some meme coins here. And maybe you guys already took the risk of getting into the meme coins, and you're just trying to recover some of your losses here. I think that might happen for January. If you're trying to recover your losses here, you might actually see that happening for the month of January. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Pepe. Was one of the strong high-flying coins here. Pepe coin currently trading at 476, pretty much near the bottom of the barrel as far as like price action goes here. It was looking pretty bleak here for Pepe, right? I'm on the 5-day chart, and you can see that we have a nice 5-day green candle showing up here. Let me get into the daily time frame. Daily time frame for Pepe. It was very important for Pepe to get above this white line here. This 21 EMA has been acting as resistance ever since September. You came up to it, you got rejected in October, came up to it again, got rejected again near Halloween, came up again near December, kind of got above it for a little bit, but still got rejected. And now here we are, we're actually making a strong case to actually get above the 21 EMA. Now, in order for me to remain bullish here on Pepe, we got to stay above the 21 EMA, which, you know, should be a little bit easier now that the white line is so down far below, okay? We might actually start seeing an uptrend here for Pepe. And if we continue on an uptrend, I would expect some resistance here from this 50 moving average. This is the green line here. That's sitting at 600. I think Pepe might initially get rejected at 600, make a higher low, and then try to go up to higher prices here for Pepe. Let's see what the VRVP indicator has to say about things for levels to look out for. I'm going to go turn that bad boy on. And as far as like levels to look for above us, once again, you know, they're like 570 and also 600. You got some high volume here. Could act as resistance for Pepe. Get past like 615. Then there's some more resistance between 650 and 720. Okay, for Pepe. Those are some areas where I would think it's prudent to take, you know, take some profits on your Pepe if you have some. Maybe offload and de-risk and sell your Pepe at a higher price, and, you know, see if you're able to catch, you know, maybe catch it at a higher low maybe, and, you know, buy low, sell high, right? But, you know, if you got too much Pepe, then maybe you might be able to sell it at 700, or even the value high here at 747. Okay, not financial advice. Do whatever you want to do, but it's a lot better, and it makes a lot of sense to sell high, and then maybe, you know, buy low again if you're inclined to buy, you know, catch a higher low on Pepe here. But we shall see. We shall see. I'm expecting, like I said, resistance at 600, and then more resistance here at like 700 for Pepe. I see Steve Hickey's in the chat. Good to see you, Steve Hickey. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you for coming in here, Steve. Thank you. Appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Appreciate that. Let's see what we got here for TikTok. I'm going to try to catch up on the chat here on TikTok. Chris said, any thoughts on SCPT? I don't even know what SCPT is, to be honest with you. That's new to me. I never heard of that coin. I'm assuming it's a cryptocurrency. So I can't really give you my thoughts on it, but I can look at the charts to see, what the charts are saying for, like, where the price might go next. So I guess that would probably be one of the first requests here is the SCPT. Okay. And Mike Lane wants me to do TA on IWM. I believe that is one of the stock index, right? Can't remember which one off the top of my head, but we'll take a look at that one for you as well. And let me see if there's any other requests here. Well, yep, Chris did say thoughts on SCPT token. Hong says coin arrive long versus shot. I don't know what that means. Is that a request? Just let me know if that is a request. But yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right, Mike. You're right. Yeah, it's the Russell 2000. That's right. Yep. I was like, that's so familiar, and I'm like, what is it? I know it's not the NASDAQ. I obviously know it's not the NASDAQ. And I'm like, and I know it's not the Wilshire 5000. And I was like, oh, Russell 2000. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. And we'll take a look at that. But let's first look at SCPT because my guy here, Chris, asked for it. And then we'll take a look at IWM for your requests here. But yeah, Pepe looking good so far. Hopefully it doesn't go any further down than what it did here on December 18th when it came down to like 363. I think you can put a stop loss at like 360 or 350. And if Pepe does stop you out, then it probably wants to continue going down lower prices. And this might just be a short-lived rally. But hopefully that's not the case because I think this cryptocurrency and just cryptocurrencies in general have been beat up already as much as they can. Like we are due for a relief rally, I think, in crypto for the month of January here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at SCPT, and then we'll take a look at the Russell 2000. So this is Script Network, and it looks like it's trading on MEXC. And let's see. Try to pull this up here. This thing is trading less than a penny, right? It's at 0.004552 pennies. We're just gonna call that 4,552. This thing is down 4% today. Looking at the daily chart, let me get rid of the VRVP for now. But looking at the daily time frame here on SCPT, you are coming up on resistance on this 2-day moving average. This red line is acting as resistance as of now. So that's to be expected. I mean, if it was going to continue being bullish, it would have just pushed right past that 2-day moving average like it's nothing. But it actually is respecting the 2-day moving average. It got a little bit above it yesterday here. I can see that where it got as high as like 49.27. But now today, I guess some sellers came in and decided that 200-day moving average, good area to start selling something, right? But you want to see this thing continue doing what it's doing. I like this little trend that it's making here, this uptrend. I could draw this out, but you could also see it with the white line here, acting as kind of like a trend line here. That's the 21 EMA there, but you can see that you're kind of maintaining a trend line here. Just keep doing that. I think you'll be all right for script. If you lose this trend line, then maybe you come down to lower prices here. Yeah, you probably will come down lower prices if you lose the trend line here, and you could come down probably to like 3,800 here, 3,870. I see a lot of sideways trading price action in this area here. If I turn the VRVP indicator, it's probably going to say the same thing. Yeah, there's like some high volume here at 3,800. However, the point of control, the POC, this blue line here, which has the highest volume node here, is sitting at 4290. Okay, if we start coming down, I think 4290 should act as a support because a lot of people have bought and sold at this area. It also acted as support back here in August. So I think 4290 should act as support. And if it doesn't, then yeah, you'll come down probably to like somewhere in between 3,700 to like 4,000 here. But yeah, looks like what did I say? 4290. Yeah, 4290, 4,300 should be a good support area for script. Just looking at the VRVP indicator here. And if script continues going up to higher prices here, we do have a value area high sitting at 54.29. You can see that this value area high has acted as resistance back here in September and also August. Also back here in July as well. So that white line, this value area high, probably be where you want to try to take some profits at 5,400 for script here. Just eyeballing the chart right now using the VRVP indicator here. Okay. All right, let's get into taking a look at the Russell 2000. Look at IWM. IWM. So we're looking at IWM. Let me know if I got the right ticker symbol. I believe it is the right ticker symbol, but there seemed like there was a bunch of them for Russell 2000, right? There's like so many. I guess they trade on different exchanges here all throughout the world. Okay, but we're using the one for the New York Stock Exchange, and that's this one right here. Currently trading at $246.16, down 0.75%. We're on the daily time frame here for the Russell 2000 IWM. And we're going to use the VRVP indicator here before we start putting on the moving averages. And I can see on the VRVP indicator, you got a point of control. And this is data going all the way back to like March of last year, okay, of 2025. Crazy to say last year, huh? 2025 is now considered last year. But yeah, you do have data going all the way back to March of last year. And the point of control for this one is sitting at 243. That's where the good majority of people that were buying and selling the Russell 2000, they actually bought at that area, okay? That blue line right there. So this should act as support because right now price is above it, okay? Act as support, hold that support, and then try to bounce off of that. Maybe go back up to this value area high sitting at 255. I think 255 should be where you should try to take some profit on the Russell 2000. But you know, we'll see if it can go higher than that. Maybe let's see. The highest this thing has been is like 258 on December 11th. So that's the high water mark here, 258.2, roughly. Okay. I mean, has it been any higher than that? No, not really. Okay. So 258 would be the high water mark here before you start making new all-time highs on your Russell 2000. Now, if the Russell 2000 for some reason ends up being bearish here, we lose this point of control, this blue line here. You got some support here at this value area low, this white line sitting at 224. Okay, 224 has acted as support back here in August of last year, acted as resistance back in July. You know, back in July of 2025 here. So I would think 225 should be an area that you should be looking out for support for the Russell 2000. You got this high volume node, a lot of high volume there. That should be your support for the IWM here. Now let me go ahead and throw in the moving averages, see if there's any confluence here with the VRVP indicator. Now the VRVP indicator and the moving averages is showing that the 200-day moving average and the value area low are sitting at 224, 225. So I would definitely expect 224, 225 to act as support if we ever do come down to that level here for the Russell 2000. Okay, and then it looks like the point of control at 244 is kind of confluent and with the 50-day moving average, this green line at 242. So between 242 and 244 should be the support area for the IWM here. So I would be looking to scoop up some cheaper IWM between 242 and 244, which is not really far from where we are right now. I mean, you can probably buy some right now, but just, you know, you might be able to get some cheaper at like 242 here. All right. However, if that none of that holds up here, then yeah, you could probably buy some more at 224, 225. Not financial advice, but you could probably buy some more there because you got some strong support from the 200-day moving average, and you also got the high volume node here at 224. All right, we got a few people showing up here on the YouTube chat. We got Ava Medina. How you doing, Ava Medina? Good to see you. Happy 2026 to you as well. You want me to take a look at some miners? You want to take a look at Marathon and CleanSpark? And then UPXI. All right. Let me go ahead and write some of these things down. Matty Ghost is in the chat too. Says he's making a killing on River USDT with leverage. All right. Is that a request, or are you just making a statement? You're just letting us know about your gains. Let's see. Let me go ahead and write down some of these requests here. We got Marathon and Clean Smart, and then UPXI. If I can get to that. Let me check out my TikTok guys here. I appreciate you following me here on TikTok. Thank you guys. And just letting you guys know, if you guys want to talk about these stocks and cryptos when I'm not live streaming, I do have a Meet Damien Discord channel. You should probably join that Meet Damien Discord. It's free to join. And let me see if I can pull this up real quick. But you'll also see, like, when I go live, I post up the live streams here for YouTube. And I recently posted up a video here about Pump.Fun, another YouTube video that I posted up. I also posted up on TikTok as well. And then you guys just, you know, see what we're up to here for trades here, what trades we're getting into. And, you know, continue the conversation here on the Meet Damien Discord. Free to join, all right? The link for the Discord is up here up top on my bio for the Meet Damien TikTok page here. And then also, if you guys go on to YouTube, you should see under the links here in the description, you should see my Discord link right there, okay? So you can continue the conversation and talk about, you know, whatever crypto or stock you guys are getting into. And share some ideas of some of the best traders out there. All right. Let me just catch up on some of the requests here. Benjamin says something about Binance. I don't know what that's all about. If you want me to take a look at Binance, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. I feel like it might be a little bit too loud here on the music. Sometimes this thing does get loud. But I haven't had any complaints about the music thus far. Just let me know if it is loud. I'll turn it down some more. Ozzy the Crypto Girl says, I gotta play Warzone with you. Ozzy, I actually don't. I gotta renew my Xbox Live subscription. Yeah, that's why I haven't been able to join the requests that you keep, the messages you've been sending me. And then on top of that, I haven't played Warzone in a while. I gotta update Warzone 2. So there's a lot of things I gotta do. I don't really play video games as much as I used to. Even like 2 years ago, I played a little bit more than what I do now, and I just got a lot of things on my plate right now. But one day at a time, I'll try to first I'll try to see if I get that Xbox Live subscription fired up, and then I'll try to start downloading and updating Warzone here. But thank you for coming on to the live stream here. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you. Appreciate the like as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Marathon, which is another stock, but it's a cryptocurrency stock. It's a Bitcoin miner. Okay. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Marathon has taken a hit, just like Bitcoin and the rest of these cryptocurrencies have. Marathon is a Bitcoin miner. They might also be doing something with AI. I don't know. I know they've been some of these cryptocurrency Bitcoin miners have been transitioning into the AI space and doing like data storage and stuff like that, or leasing out their warehouses that they've been using for cryptocurrency miners to like do data services and processing for AI. Anyways, long story short, we got Marathon currently trading at $8.98, down 3.75% today. I got the VRVP indicator fired up here. Very, very great indicator to be using. Find out the levels that we should be looking out for. This data is going all the way back to like May or April of last year, so it's a good amount of data. And it's showing that the POC, the point of control, the good majority of people that bought Marathon, they bought it at this blue line at like $15.87. That shows me that a lot of people are underwater on Marathon, which means that no one's, if they haven't sold yet, they're probably not going to sell until they get back to break even at $15.90. So there's probably a lot of room to the upside for Marathon if Bitcoin starts going up to higher prices here. Okay. But I'm not sure if we're actually going to get up to that point of control. That would be a nice area to get up to, because it'd be almost like a double from where you are right now. It looks like we do have an important area before that we got to try to conquer and reclaim, and that's this value area low sitting at 1390. This value area low has acted as support back here in June, and yeah, basically resistance here in April. Okay, so I think we got to get back up to like 1390 or 14 bucks here before we could even talk about, like, you know, Marathon getting up to like $15.90 or $16 here. So you got like basically 14 and 16 bucks. Okay, 14 and 16 bucks are your targets to the upside on Marathon. However, right, there's a little bit of a problem here. You got this 21 EMA, this white line here, could act as resistance, as it already has acted as resistance back here in December. Okay, your first take profit target, if you're trading Marathon, is to try to get up to this 21 EMA sitting at 1079. Okay, I think it's like a couple of bucks above from where we are right now, but get up there and then see how you handle yourself. Are you going to get rejected like you did here in December? Because if you get rejected again, then it probably means Marathon wants to go down to lower prices, and I'm not sure how low it wants to go, considering the fact that it's like it's near the lows for the year, or even lows for like the last multi-year lows here. I mean, we have seen Marathon go down to like $7 back in like October of 2023, and then even lower than that back here at like $5.25 here in March of 2023. So those are your targets to the downside if Marathon decides to go that low here. Okay, but yeah, I just gave you downside targets. I think 525 is your doomsday Armageddon target for Marathon. Okay, it could get nasty and bad if it does go down there, but if we're gonna start catching some bids here, like I said, I think you know, high volume node here at like 10 bucks, and then also we said 14 and 16 are the other levels to be looking out for on Marathon. Okay, alrighty, we got professors in the chat. What do I think Bitcoin will do now? We already talked about that early in the live stream. Thank you for coming in, Professor. Don't forget to double tap your screen here to send me the like here on TikTok. But I think Bitcoin is due for a relief rally here in January and February. And we already looked at like the 3-day and the 5-day chart, and it's showing that selling pressure is dying off, and we're getting some buying pressure here on the 3-day chart for Bitcoin. And we also got a MACD crossover recently on the 3-day chart for Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin wants to go up rather than go down at this point. Also, we've been seeing Bitcoin making higher lows on a daily time frame, frustrating the crap out of the bears and the short sellers. So I think Bitcoin might start catching some bids and going up to maybe like 90 or 100K. I didn't even give you upside targets on Bitcoin, but we might see, you know, we're not that far from 90K. We're only like a couple of grand, but we might see 100K here in January for Bitcoin. I'll just put that out there. We might. Let's see. Rogo Zim says, "Can you please look at Cardano? You want to go sell the 1 minute of IT will go more up." Okay. Alrighty. I'll put that request in. So we already looked at Marathon for Ava Medina. Ava Medina, I'm gonna sneak in this request here for Cardano, and then we'll take a look at Clean Spark. Okay. I just lost the cap here. Oh no. Alright. I have to get that later, I guess. I'm not sure where it went. Rolled underneath my desk here. Anyways, yeah, that's Marathon in a nutshell. Let's move on to Cardano. Oh my god, I gotta sneeze now. Man. Alright. Okay, excuse me. Let's take a look at Cardano now. Cardano currently trading at 35 cents, up 6.97% today. And I got the daily time frame here. I got the VRVP indicator fired up. Looks like the most amount of people that were buying and selling Cardano are literally where it's at right now. It's at the point of control, the POC, this blue line at 35 cents. Don't lose this line, and then you might see some higher prices here for Cardano, where there'll be some resistance between like 41 cents and 43 cents. But after you get past 43 cents, there shouldn't be too much resistance because you got a gap in the VRVP indicator, and you don't get like a really high volume node until you get up to like 58 cents. I think 58 cents was acting as like the bottom here for Cardano a few times back in 2025 here. Funny for me to say back in 2025. It was just like a few days ago. Yesterday, right? But yeah, back in 2025, in early 2025, we saw, you know, Cardano at 58 cents and catching some bids there. So I think that could be a resistance and a take profit target if Cardano ever climbs back up to that price. Okay, just looking at the long-term views here for Cardano. If Cardano is going to be bearish for whatever reason, we do have a value area low sitting at 31 cents. Do not lose 31 cents because I think it could get really nasty for Cardano if it does lose 31 cents. But that should be a strong area of support. If the point of control where we're at right now doesn't hold up, then this might come down like 3 or 4 more cents, get a bounce, and then you might see Cardano start taking off to higher prices here. Now just zooming in on the moving averages here, you do got the 21 EMA has acted as resistance. This white line that is following the price action here. Right now that white line is sitting at 36.368. I guess Cardano probably won't start launching up to higher prices until it gets above 36 cents here. And then we'll see if it can get past this this last lower high here at 48 cents. So for the day traders, swing traders here, you're probably targeting just above you at like 38 cents. And then your second day profit target is going to probably be 48 cents. If I was day trading Cardano or swing trading it. So that's Cardano in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and take a look at CleanSpark. I used to be in CleanSpark. I had CleanSpark as one of the stocks that I owned for last year in 2024. A little bit curious to see what CleanSpark has done. I'm assuming it's probably dropped down. Yeah, it has. Yeah. Okay. So CleanSpark is another Bitcoin miner that Ava Medina wants us to take a look at. And CleanSpark is currently trading at $10.12. And what do we got here for CleanSpark? We got data going all the way back to like April of last year. Okay, that's what the VRVP indicator is pulling all that data from, and it's showing that the majority of people that bought and sold CleanSpark, they did it around this blue line here at 990, which is not too far from where we are right now. We're actually near what should be support for CleanSpark. Okay, so was Marathon also looking the same thing? I think when we looked at Marathon was also near the point of control as well. This is great. I would actually try to buy CleanSpark right now just to see if we catch these bids with Bitcoin going up to higher prices that I think Bitcoin's going to do in the month of January here, because we've already had a few bad months already. I mean, how many more bad months do we get? You know, there's got to be a relief rally at some point. The bears need to take profit and actually cover their shorts at some point, right? But yeah, so I think if we start seeing Bitcoin go up to higher prices here, CleanSpark could climb up to probably the 200-day moving average and get some resistance at 1156 here. And then if it goes a little bit further, according to the VRVP indicator, you got a high volume node here at 1270, which is right where that 100-day moving average is at. And also the 21 EMA is also at that level too. So you're looking for like 1150 to like 1260, 1270 to try and take some profit on CleanSpark, and that's about like a 20% gain, which is really great for stocks. Like, you know, stock market world, they love to get 20% on most stocks. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone who buys CleanSpark now sees their stock go up like 20% here. They decided to click the sell button because that's all they were expecting out of CleanSpark was just, you know, a 20% move for the year. And they could probably get that in the next few days, few weeks here. Okay? Because these stocks, they are volatile just like Bitcoin. And I think if Bitcoin climbs up to higher prices, this thing will climb up to at least to like 1270, 1260 here. Anything further than that, you know, we would probably need to see Bitcoin challenge and threaten to go to like all-time highs, I believe. And then you might see CleanSpark actually get up to this value area high, sitting at like 1497, where you can see that we had a lot of resistance here at 1490, where we kind of topped out. You know, we got a little bit above 1490. We got up to like 15 bucks here a few times here in November. But I think, you know, whoever bought here is probably like, oh crap. You know, they lost 33% of their investment here. And if we get back up to $15, they're probably going to click the sell button just to break even. And maybe try again at a lower entry, or maybe they decide to get out of Bitcoin miners altogether here. But yeah, that's what I see here with CleanSpark. That's your high watermark here. Long-term target's 15 bucks. Medium-term target like 1260, 1270. Short-term target, I think we could get up to 1150 here, where that 2-day moving average is at. And to the downside, I mean, don't lose the point of control. You're already at it. But if you lose the point of control, you could come down to the value area low, sitting at $8.40, which has acted as a pivot point and acted as higher lows here back here in June. And yeah, pretty much like, you know, June you got like almost like a double bottom here on around like $8.40 here for CleanSpark. So that's what I'd be looking for to the downside. Maybe you might be able to get some cheaper CleanSpark at that area, $8.40 here. All right. Shinro says, "How does this shit work? I want to learn." You're asking about the VRVP indicator here. The VRVP indicator, I believe that's a very popular indicator that some people, a lot of people, even like experienced traders, don't even know about the VRVP indicator here. Okay, and it's an indicator that I like to use to figure out the levels to look out for here. Okay, and I have a video here on TikTok. Since I see that you're on TikTok, I'll just pull up here on TikTok. I do have a VRVP indicator here video pinned to the top of my my page here for the Meet Damien channel. Okay. And I also have other videos that I pinned as well, like the Fibonacci indicator. I have that video about that one. And I also have a video just talking about how to set up the charts in general. You know, how to trade using the MACD indicator here and the RSI and stochastic RSI. So those videos are pinned to the top here, the top 3 videos here on the Meet Damien TikTok. I also got those videos here on YouTube as well if you guys want to dig in. On the Meet Damien YouTube channel, under the video sections, you'll see the VRVP indicator video right here, and then you'll see the Fibonacci indicator video, and then also the how to read a candlestick chart and RSI MACD. You'll see that here on my YouTube channel as well. So yeah, go ahead and don't forget to subscribe. I do have like a bunch of people watching my channel here. Right, let's see, I got 117,000 views on YouTube, but only 545 subscribers, so people are watching my videos, but no one's clicking the subscribe button, or like there's very little clicking the subscribe button. So I would appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button. That does help out. And then you'll be able to see when I go live and get notified when I go live, so that should be worth doing. And also for my TikTok guys, I know I got a bunch of TikTok guys. If you guys want to watch the replays of the live streams, if you missed the live stream because you're at work or at school or doing whatever you gotta do, you can go onto the Meet Damien YouTube and watch those live streams again, and then also subscribe. That would help. Appreciate that if you could do that there, guys. Ava Medina says your average buy for CleanSpark is around $8. Okay. Hey, we got Cameron in the chat here. Good to see you, Cameron. We're talking about some stocks here, Cameron. We're talking about CleanSpark, which is a cryptocurrency Bitcoin miner stock. So, you know, still talking about crypto and stocks. If you could, like, marry crypto and stocks together, you would get the Bitcoin miners, right? But also, we did have a request here for the Russell 2000, Cameron. Yes, we had a guy here asking about the Russell 2000. We looked at IWM. I know Cameron trades stocks as well, and he's in crypto, and he's a pretty good trader. I know he definitely trades with a big account. But yeah, kudos to you. Thank you for sending the roses there, Cameron. All right. And Happy New Year to you as well, Cameron. Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah, OFG just asked, like, what's the sideway volume indicator name? So that's the VRVP indicator, the Visual Range Volume Profile. Let me see if I can pull up here, but if you type in VRVP, it should show up, and that's the Visual Range Volume Profile indicator. That's what I use a lot for to figure out the levels to look out for. Sometimes there's some levels that you don't even know. I mean, you could figure, some of these levels out, like the value area low, right? That's a level here showing up here on the VRVP indicator. But if you didn't have the VRVP indicator, you could kind of eyeball, like, we had a double bottom here in June, and then also a top here in March, and then you could probably just manually put a horizontal line there saying that, okay, that's a line to look out for, okay? But the VRVP indicator piles all this data into one indicator, and it shows you, like, where that value area low is, where the point of control is at, and also where the value area high is at, okay? And these are levels where price normally comes up to and either gets support or it could get rejected. More likely, if it's a value area high, you're gonna probably get rejected if price is coming up to it, okay? And then if price is coming down to the point of control, you're probably gonna get support. However, if price is already below the point of control, then you're probably gonna get rejected at the point of control initially before you break through it. Very rare, or I wouldn't say not very rare, but less likely for you to, like, if the price was below the point of control, to just break past it and just continue on an uptrend. Usually you get some sideways trading action near the point of control. But yeah, Cameron says new traders should always draw manual lines as good practice. Yeah, they should. And in my VRVP indicator video, I show you guys how to actually set up the VRVP indicator. But if you set it up, it's probably not going to look like mine right off the bat. You would have to go into the settings on the VRVP indicator, and you have to turn on the value area high and value area low, because if not, you're not going to have those lines, right? You're not going to have the POC, you're not going to have the value area low, you're not going to have the value area high unless you click them on, okay? And then as far as the inputs go, if you do not have 240 as your row size, then your VRVP indicator is going to look like this, where it's kind of like blocky. Like, there's like big giant blocks here, and you can't really get precise information like you do with the way I have it set up. So in this case, I just go into the settings here, and I just add a 0 to the row size, so it's 240, and then your VRVP indicator looks like this, where it's a little bit more precise as far as like where those high volume nodes are actually at. Okay. But yeah, that's CleanSpark in a nutshell. We're gonna now take a look at UPXI, which I think is a Solana treasury. That's what Ava Medina said here, over here on YouTube chat. Let's go ahead and look that one up. UPXI. UPXI. It looks like that's it's a pharmaceutical company. Did I type in the right one here? Is that the one that you want to look at? Ava Medina, are you still in the chat here, Ava Medina? Let me know if you're still in the chat here, because I want to make sure I'm looking at the right one here. You did say UPXI, and then you said Solana Treasury. Oh, they have a Solana Treasury. Is that what you're saying? Okay. That's interesting if they do. Looks like this company was founded in 2018, headquartered in Tampa, Florida, so maybe they got some fresh young blood for their executive staff. Their CEO might be a younger guy, I'm assuming. And maybe they're okay with getting invested in Solana. But let me go ahead and get rid of some previous chart work here. We're looking at UPXI. This thing is kind of crashing down along with crypto. And that's understandable. If they actually own Solana as on their balance sheet, even though they're a stock, the stock is going to get value based on the holdings on the balance sheet. And if Solana is dropping down in price, then you would expect this thing to also drop down in price. So Ava Medina did say, he did confirm that this is a pharmaceutical company with a Solana treasury. Oh, very interesting. Okay. Well, I do think Solana's going to bounce up, and I think Bitcoin's going to bounce up in the month of January, just from what I've seen. I guess we should probably look at Solana after this, right? But let's just finish up here with UPXI here. UPXI on the VRVP indicator here, it is below the value area low, the point of control, and the value area. Okay, this is the value area. Okay, between this white line and this other white line, you got the value area low and the value area high. When you're below the value area, you are very, very undervalued and cheap. It's worth taking along. Even if you're bearish, it's still worth taking along when you're below the value area low, okay? Not only that, you're also below the 21 EMA, okay? I would expect this thing to at least get a bounce at some point and come back to that 21 EMA. And if it's going to come back to 21 EMA and get rejected, then so be it, right? But I'm expecting this thing to at least do a mean reversion back to the 21 EMA at $2.21. So we're at $1.68. I think first take profit target should be $2.21. And then second take profit is going to be like the value area low, sitting at $3.09. And then after that, you got a gap in the VRVP, and then maybe you might be able to get up to that point of control at $6.20 here, okay? But that might be asking for too much. You're going to need to see Solana do well. You're probably going to need Solana to go back up to all-time highs again, maybe, for this thing to get up to that price. And this is also a company, too, so they're going to have to continue selling and making profits here for them to get back up to that point of control as well. But it looks like the point of control and the 200-day moving average, that red line, are sitting at the same area, roughly, at like 595 to like 620. That should be your ultimate long-term take profit target. If you see UPXI get up there sometime between now and the next few months or later on in 2026, I would consider clicking the sell button, because this is showing that a good majority of people were buying at UPXI at $6, and they're underwater, and they're going to probably want to break even and click the sell button when it gets up to $6. So you can come join them. But first, you can buy it right now at $1.60 and get like a nice, what? Like a nice 4x from where we are right now. If we actually get up to that point of control, it's going to be about a 269% gain. Jeez. Okay. But realistically and more likely, we're probably going to just come up to this value area low. And you still can get like an 83% gain on the stock. That's a pretty decent thing to do here. I might actually do this myself, Alva Medina. I might buy some UPXI tomorrow morning when the stock market opens up. And I see Laureen's in the chat. Good to see you, Laureen. Thank you for sending the roses. Thank you for sending the Go Popular, Laureen. If you want to, Laureen, you could be a moderator if you want on my YouTube channel, and a moderator on my TikTok channel as well. I think I put that out there because you're one of my super fans here already on TikTok, and I appreciate you smashing the like button and sending the gifts here. Definitely appreciate that. Cameron, you said you did a long on Pump.Fund. I haven't gotten into Pump.Fund myself. I'm actually in a Zcash long, and I'm in a Bitcoin long, and I'm still in an Ethereum long, but that's like, it's a small position that I plan on holding till, you know, maybe the end of this relief rally that we're probably gonna get. But yeah, that's kudos to you if you got into Pump.Fund. I did make a YouTube and a TikTok video about it. I'm not sure if you got a chance to look at the TikTok video or the YouTube video, but I did make a video on Pump.Fund, just from like the previous analysis that I did yesterday, because someone else requested Pump.Fund. OFG says, "Yo, bro, can you check out the Bitcoin VRVP for all right, yeah, I'd probably look at Bitcoin one more time here." Cameron says, "Hopefully you're gonna pay her well." I mean, yeah, we gotta start figuring things out here as this channel starts growing. We'll start figuring out, you know, who wants to be a moderator. You know, I've already had people request saying that they want to start editing videos for me and creating like you know, banners and pictures and stuff like that. So, I mean, there will be some work later on as this channel grows, and I appreciate you guys helping me out here any way you can by smashing the like button, definitely helps. And also sharing the video with your friends and family, and sending the gifts here on TikTok. At some point, we'll probably get YouTube monetized, and then maybe you guys can, if you want to, send super chats my way. But that hasn't happened yet. Got to get the watch hours up on YouTube. So actually, if you guys can watch the live stream on YouTube, even if you don't like watch the entire video, but if you like let it play in the background, even with the volume off, it still helps the YouTube algorithm, and it would help me get the YouTube channel monetized at some point here. Cameron says I should create a business coin. Yeah, there's always a lot of things to do. Maybe when I get around to it. Alright, yeah, Anthony's asking what are the big giant blocks here. So yeah, that's the VRVP indicator off on the right. A lot of people keep asking about that. I do have a video on TikTok that shows you how to set up the VRVP indicator here. It's got like a pretty good amount of views, 1,900 views here. And that's like a 14-minute video. Let me just click on it. And I go over like how to set up the VRVP indicator in this video. Oh, it's actually a 16-minute video. But you'll see like me explaining the VRVP indicator, how to set it up, and then how I trade with it. So go ahead and take a look at that when you get a chance to learn more about the VRVP indicator. But we actually got to look at Bitcoin because we did have a request for Bitcoin, and we had a request about Bitcoin with the VRVP indicator. So let me go ahead and do that for you guys. We're looking at Bitcoin. Currently trading at 88,261. The VRVP indicator with the daily time frame, and I know I got a lot of stuff to look here on the charts. I'm actually gonna get rid of the moving averages for now, clean things up a little bit. We got data going all the way back to like July of last year. Okay. Right now the POC is showing this blue line here at 87,500, where a good amount of people have been buying Bitcoin at over the last 6 to 7 months here. We do got some high volume nodes here that I already marked on the chart with these red lines at 90,500 and 91,400. If we can actually get past these high volume nodes here, the volume drops off on the VRVP indicator. There might be some resistance here at 101, 102K. So I think, yeah, if we can start climbing up to higher prices here on Bitcoin, well, I can't negate the fact that there is going to probably be some resistance at 95, 96K. Get past 95, 96K, and then we could start seeing Bitcoin climb up to 100, 102K. I think once we get to 101, 102K, people are going to say, all right, Bitcoin's at 100K, let me get out. And I can say I got out at 100K and, you know, brag to my friends that I got out at 100K, all right? There's also some more volume here at 103K and 104K. So, yeah, there's some volume here. When Bitcoin gets up to 100K, it's a psychological number. There's going to be a lot of pushback where the bear is going to be like, no, this thing does not deserve to go higher than 104K. And then there's going to be bulls that say, yes, it does. And we're just making a correction here. And we're going to be going up to higher prices. And if we do go up to higher prices, there's some more resistance at 111K. And then now we got a value area high here at 114K. I think I said, like, I wouldn't get overly bullish on Bitcoin until Bitcoin gets up to 114, 116K. You see, we also got another high volume node here, like 116, 117K. So yeah, if Bitcoin can get up to this zone right here, I would be saying, all right, maybe the 4-year cycle is wrong. Maybe Bitcoin is going to go make a new all-time high in 2026 here. And just throw everybody off as to like why it's doing that, okay? But you know, the 4-year cycle bros and the bears are going to say Bitcoin's going to probably make a lower high, and it might happen if we climb up to 96K. All right, that's still going to be a lower high compared to what we did here in November at 107K. We can even come up to like 101 or 103, 104K, make a lower high here compared to what we did here in November. And yeah, the bears will say, all right, you got your relief rally here, you climbed all the way up to like 104K, and now we're gonna send you back down lower, okay? and then this ends up being a lower high, yeah, that's gonna just reinforce the idea that the 4-year cycle is still a thing. The 4-year cycle is undefeated, and we're still gonna be in a bear market if we make a lower high, you know, at that area. If we go up to 107K, then I'm like, all right, the bears and the 4-year cycle bros, they're gonna have a hard time convincing everybody that, you know, that this time is not different. That we might actually see, you know, Bitcoin do something crazy where it comes up to like 116, 114K here, and then this just ends up being a buy the dip opportunity, and whoever's been buying here, they're gonna get rewarded if Bitcoin goes up to 114K. Now, do I think that's likely? I don't know. I think it's likely that we are gonna get a relief rally that could push us up to 96K or 102, 104K. All right, but getting up to like 116K, that's a lot of work that Bitcoin needs to do. A lot of people took profit, including myself, when Bitcoin was, you know, crashing in October and November here, and you have to convince those people to try and, you know, buy back in again in Bitcoin and crypto. They might decide to buy back in again if Bitcoin gets back up to where they sold it at like 110, 116K. You're gonna make a more convincing case that, hey, you know what? Maybe Bitcoin is gonna do something different this time. Maybe we will make a new all-time high. Maybe the 4-year cycle is no longer a thing anymore. Okay, if we get up to like 114, 116K, okay, you'll start seeing people talk about that. But I think more likely we'll get the relief rally, and we could make a lower high. And, you know, I don't want to be bearish, okay, but I have to call it as I see it. And if we do make a lower high at like 104, 102K or something like that, and we come back down, then I'm gonna still be bearish and say, guys, you know, it was great that we had this relief rally, but we're making a lower high here now, and this is gonna get nasty again. All right, so that's what I'm paying attention to over the next few weeks and couple of months here. Is Bitcoin gonna make a lower high, or is it gonna actually get it past 107K, and is it gonna actually go up to like 114K? 116K, okay. That is when I will start to become bullish again on Bitcoin. And if I get the moving averages, let me just turn the moving averages on. If we can get above the 200-day moving average, which is at 106,900 right now, I will start becoming a bull again on Bitcoin. Okay. Start doesn't mean I'm gonna finish being a bull, because, you know, we got to actually stay above the 200-day moving average. We can't just come up to it, get rejected, and come back down again, because that's not going to cut the mustard, okay? We actually have to get above the 200-day moving average to stay above the 200-day moving average. That's why I say I will actually be very bullish on Bitcoin if we get up to that value area high at 114K, because that's going to put you above the 200-day moving average, and it's going to put you above most of these lower highs here, and it's going to start changing the narrative that Bitcoin might actually be doing, shall I dare say, a super cycle? or doing something different this time, right? But we shall see. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to over the next few days, few weeks here. Are we going to do a lower high? Or are we going to actually start breaking some of these highs in the previous couple of months here and actually get up to like 114K? We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on crypto and Bitcoin here. And I see we got Crypto Coin Mindset in here. Good to see you, Crypto Coin Mindset. Happy New Year to you as well. Let me see if I can give a shout out to Crypto Coin Mindset. He's on YouTube. I don't know. Are you also on TikTok, Crypto Coin Mindset? Because I could show my viewers here your TikTok if you got one there. But I know you are on YouTube for sure. Yeah. Crypto Coin Mindset. Let's see if I click that there. Where are ya? Why did it not show up right away? This is not. Do I gotta put this together? There we go. There we go. I'm subscribed. Yeah, guys, you should go subscribe to Crypto Coin Mindset. They usually do some collaborations with a few other people talking on the live stream. It's kind of like a podcast setting here. But let's see, when was the last live stream that you did here? About 9 days ago. Okay, so you've probably been enjoying your Christmas holiday breaks here. Okay. But yeah, definitely give them a look here. Check out Crypto Coin Mindset, another YouTuber here, a couple thousand subscribers. Let's go ahead and click that subscribe button for them. You're welcome. You're welcome, Crypto Coin Mindset. And you say no TikTok. All right. No TikTok yet. Maybe later. Who knows? For some reason, I got more followers on TikTok than I did YouTube, but I started both channels at the same time, so I'm not, TikTok just kept sending people my way. I don't know, I guess I was doing something right on TikTok, and I ended up with almost 6,000 followers here. Let's see, where are we at with TikTok? 5,954 followers here. So I'm thinking later on this month I'll hit 6,000, and I'll give I'll put that milestone up on Discord or whatever. But back to the chats. Let's see what you guys are also saying here in the TikTok chat and the YouTube chat. OFG, you want to look at the 1 hour on Bitcoin? Okay. And you want to look at what, short term with the VRVP indicator? All right, let's get into it. So we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, which is a good time frame for my day traders out there. This is usually where I get started. Well, I'll still look at the daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame to get the idea of long term, what are we doing? But when I want to look at day trades, what I think is going to happen that day or maybe the next day, I'll start on the 1 hour time frame. That's usually where I start before I go into the 15-minute or the 5-minute time frame. The 15-minute time frame is good to see what's going on right now, and a 5-minute time frame is great for figuring out entries, where I want to enter a trade at. But anyways, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin. I'm not sure how far back you want me to get the data from. I'll try to zoom out a little bit, see if that changes the VRVP indicator. And hopefully this isn't looking too messy. I might get rid of the moving averages for now, so it's not too crazy on the charts here. And I'm gonna get rid of some of this previous chart work here. But you can see here on the VRVP indicator, we got the blue line, a point of control at 87,400. Is there a ghost? I keep, I said this in the last live stream, is there a ghost in my house? And it's always because my gym bag, when I put my gym bag away, I don't really put it up. I probably need to just put it on the floor instead of on the chair. I think my gym bag just fell down. Anyways, looking at the POC, the good majority of people bought Bitcoin over the last few days here since the middle of December at 87,400. That's going to be a good support level. If we ever come back down to that again, you might want to try to scoop up some Bitcoin at that level. Okay. I think if we're going to continue being bullish here, the volume starts to drop off here on the 1 hour time frame on the VRVP here. And we got a value area high at 90,100. You can see, when we get up to 90,100, the sellers come in and they start clicking the sell button. So I would click the sell button or try to take profit at 90,100 here for my day traders out there that are trying to, scalp trade Bitcoin right now. That's actually where I got my take. I'm actually in a Bitcoin long right now on Coinbase Exchange. And I think I have a long on MEXC. I can't really remember. I'm on a few exchanges right now, bouncing between WEEX and MEXC and Coinbase. But anyways, I know I'm in a Bitcoin long, and I got my target at 90,000. I don't have it at 90,100 because I'm not sure if we're gonna actually get up to 90,000. What do we get up to? 90,200 on Monday. We might end up making another lower high at 90K. Matter of fact, when we get closer to 89,800 or 900, I might just decide to close the trade out altogether because I don't even know if we actually hit 90K. But I will be moving my stop loss in the meantime as we create some higher lows here. And here on Bitcoin, let's see. If we're going to get bearish here, I would expect the point of control to act as support, but if it doesn't, we do got this other white line here. This is the value area low sitting at 86,600. You can see that every time we get down to 86,600, we don't stay down there for too long. That ends up being the pivot point here in the 1 hour chart. So I think 86,600 or even 86,800, I identified it at 86,800 earlier. I think anywhere between these two levels here, good area to scoop up a long on Bitcoin, and then you can just put your top stop loss below the WEEX, like what, below 86,300 or even 86,000, because you're most likely going to end up buying the low for that day if you're able to get the long somewhere in this area on Bitcoin. Okay, and then you can just ride it up, make some money, make some profit, scalp trade it. But then once we get up to like 90,100, 90,200, I would actually be looking for shorts in this area. Okay, and then you can put your stop loss really tight above the candle wick high here. What, 90,200? So maybe we'll put it at like 90,500 or 90,600, and just, you know, because we've been range bound, right? Bitcoin's been range bound since the middle of December. So until it actually shows us that it's not going to stay in this range, you just play the range. You take a short here at 90,000, 90,200 maybe, and you take a long here at 86K, 86,600, 86,800, somewhere in this area. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here in the YouTube chat. Abba Medina says he thinks we're gonna go back to 113, 117K in January or early February. Wow, that's pretty optimistic. I think we'll get up to like maybe 102, 104K if we're gonna be bullish. I'd be pleasantly surprised if we hit 113, 117 in February. But I still think it's possible. We just have to continue being bullish. We have to just stop doing this right here. We gotta stop going up and down on the range. We gotta go past 90K to get to 117K, right? So yeah, get past 90K, and then we'll, you know, then we gotta look at like 91 and 96K, and then we gotta look at 102 and 104K. We got some levels to get up to before we get to 117K. Medina says it's a ghost for sure. OG Boban is in the chat. Good to see you, OG Boban. And let me try to catch up on my TikTok guys here. On FOMO, what coins should you get? I can't really give you financial advice, but it looks like the meme coins are starting to pull ahead. And every time we get bullish, usually the meme coins start running first. But I would just look at, you know, some of the regular coins. I think we're gonna try to look at Solana, Sui, XRP, Ethereum. Those are gonna be some good coins to get into if Bitcoin's gonna actually climb up to 100K. All right. Let's see. You want me to look at the 4 hour? What on the 4 hour do you want me to look at? We already looked at Bitcoin on the 1 hour, but 4 hour. I mean, usually if you're gonna ask, it's still the same data for the most part with the VRVP gainers. Nothing really changes. You know, you still got the levels here, the high volume nodes at like 90,000 and 91,000 here. And you got the POC at 87K on the 4 hour chart. If you were like asking me, like, you know, the 4 hour chart, what does the MACD look like? You know, then that would be something different here. Let's see what the 4 hour MACD. What is this? What was I doing here? Oh boy, let me get rid of that. All right, but like 4 hour MACD is showing something good here, where you got selling pressure dying off, and you got the first buying pressure candle showing up here. You got a green candle here. Maybe we'll see some green candles going into tomorrow and later on tonight. And then 4 hour MACD on Bitcoin is showing that the MACD has crossed over to the upside. So I'm expecting some green candles here. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to go to 90K later on tonight, going into tomorrow, guys. Just looking at the 4 hour time frame. I think the 1 hour time frame showed the MACD was also looking good here with green buying pressure. And then you got the MACD crossover last night, right after New Year's. And like, I was watching this last night, you know, before New Year's, or before it turned 12 o'clock here on the East Coast of America. I was looking like, hey guys, I think we're gonna get a MACD crossover. It's looking kind of good for Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, and then we got this red candle out of nowhere that just sent us back down. It was like a little bit of a fake out, and I was like, oh damn it. But then, while I guess before I went to bed, you know, that's when Bitcoin started catching bids again, and we got that MACD crossover to the upside, and then the green candle started showing up here on the MACD. So that was interesting to see last night. All right. So I kind of want to look at Solana now. And Lorraine wants to look at Pengu. So I want to look at Solana, Lorraine, and then we'll take a look at Pudgy Penguins. All right. Let's look at Solana. Solana, I think, is a good solid coin to get into. I have some myself, so you know, full disclosure, you know, if Solana does go up, it does help me. But I think Solana is a solid coin to get into, whether you're trading or investing in it, because you could stake your Solana and earn some interest on it. Let's get into the daily time frame here for Solana. Try to figure out what's going on here. So Solana looks like the lowest low came in at $116.82. I have some Solana spot bags that I'm trying to get rid of. All right. But I think, you know, we could still go to higher prices here on Solana. We did make a higher low here on December 26th at $119.17. So that's actually where I got my stop loss at 119 bucks. If Solana does come down to 119 bucks, I do not want to find out how bad it gets out here in cryptocurrency world. And Solana, I'm actually going to get out at 119 bucks here. But if Solana does not go down to 119 bucks and we continue going up to higher prices here, how much higher could we go? Let's turn on that VRVP and get it one more time. And it gives me the levels to look for, right? Right now, the next level above us is at $132.50. That could be an area to start taking some profit. I think the day traders should be targeting that price. If you're going to be in it for a little bit longer than 132 bucks, if you're a swing trader, you're probably going to want to target maybe 138 to like 142, where you got the high volume nodes to look out for above you there, okay? If we make it past $143 here on Solana, then there's some resistance at 153 going up to like 167, 69. And that's basically people that bought here in November, about a couple of months ago. They thought they were buying the dip here on Solana, only for Solana to continue to go down to lower prices. So these people are kind of hurting right now. And I would expect them, some of them might stick around, but some of them are like, damn it, I thought I was buying the dip on Solana and it just kept on dipping on me. And if Solana does get up to like 160 bucks, they're probably going to click the sell button to break even. And maybe they do get back into Solana if it does go down to lower prices, but maybe they decide to just do something else with their money instead, okay? So I'm thinking, you know, long-term target, swing trade target, 160 bucks for Solana. I can't get any more bullish than that because, you know, I want to see how Solana handles itself at 160 bucks here. But you can see I have drawn a downtrend line here. Solana's been in a downtrend ever since like September. Let's see, we saw Solana at like 253 bucks. Then we made a lower high here in October, around when Bitcoin was at its all-time high. This is actually where I sold a good majority of my Solana at like 231, because I saw this, you know, we weren't able to stay above, you know, these candle wicks here, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sell some of my Solana, not all of it, but I sold, you know, a good majority of it before we had all this nastiness going on here, and we've been in this downtrend since then. But now Solana is doing what it needs to do to get out of the downtrend. You're going sideways. That's one way to get out of it. Would have been better if it just all of a sudden just bounced up and did a V-shaped recovery, but hey, you know what? This is good enough, okay, to get out of the downtrend. And I think other people are going to be eyeballing this, that Solana is starting to get out of its downtrend, and you could see Solana start catching some bids here, getting up to like 140 bucks, and then maybe 150, 160 bucks. I think that's all you can ask for Solana for now. Let's look at the moving averages real quick. Moving averages, you got the 200-day moving average at 173 bucks. If you get up to that red line there, that 200-day moving average, then I would be bullish again on Solana. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Get up to that 200-day moving average, but you can't just get up to it and then get rejected. All right, that's not good enough. You gotta get above it. You gotta stay above it for me to be bullish again on Solana. So I think, and I'm still of the belief that, you know, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, they're all gonna eventually make some lower highs here in January, unless they don't. And if we actually start making higher highs, higher than what we saw back in November of last year and October of last year, then guess what? Guess we're in a bull market, a bull run again. Okay. But I'm not counting on it. I'm not betting on it. I'm betting on that we're going to get a relief rally here, and that we're going to possibly, likely, create a lower high. And then I can get out of my Solana. I can just keep moving my stop loss. You know, when we get to like 140 bucks, I'll move my stop loss from 119 to like 125. And then when we go from like 140 bucks to like 160 bucks, I'll move my stop loss from 140 to like maybe 150. Or maybe I just take profit at 160 altogether and just, you know, just be happy with that. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing with my Solana bags here. I also got some Sui Spot bags too that I gotta get rid of too, so gotta pay attention to those too. Let me get into the request here for Lorene. Lorene was asking about Pudgy Penguins, and do we have any other requests so far? Once again, we have another person asking about Bitcoin. We did talk about Bitcoin. We actually talked about Bitcoin twice already. I've been live for about an hour and a half. I usually go live from like 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't want to do this again by looking at Bitcoin. But what I can do for you is, you know, you can come join me in the Meet Damon Discord, right? The Meet Damon Discord, where we can talk about Bitcoin here, okay? And if you have a request, you know, for Bitcoin, I can look at the charts and give you my analysis on it when I'm not live streaming here, okay? But if you want to look at the video for this live stream and watch me talk about Bitcoin not once but twice here already, then I do have a YouTube video here. This is the live stream that I'm currently live streaming right now. You can watch the replay of this live stream here on YouTube, okay? And I post up when I go live on the Meet Damon Discord. And that Meet Damon Discord, since I know you're on TikTok here, you can find that link here to join. The link is free to join on the Meet Damon Discord right there, okay? On the bio for my my TikTok page. All right, so that's Solana. Let's get into Pudgy Penguins now. Pudgy Penguins, where are you? Wow, Pepe's up 19.6%. I know it was up like 18%, but I guess Pepe's still climbing. So yeah, you know, theme for this January is that Bitcoin and crypto are finally catching some bids here. And it makes sense because we've already gotten beaten down so much. You would expect, like, you know, if you're short selling, you should start taking some profits and cover your shorts. Don't be too greedy. You know, bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy like a pig. Alright, so we're looking at Pudgy Penguins right now, which is the other animal that begins with a letter P here. But yeah, Pudgy Penguins. Currently trading at 0.009289 pennies, just under 1 penny here. Okay, we got the VRVP indicator here. Let me just zoom out, just see if I can get some good amount of data going back to like April and May of last year. Okay, so with April and May of last year, we got a point of control. Very important to pay attention to is that 1 penny. Okay, I think, you know, 1 penny is a psychological level. To be exact, it's looking like about 0.011 pennies is where this point of control is at. This is why I would expect a rejection for Pudgy Penguins, because you're below the price. You're below. I mean, the price is below the point of control. I would expect a rejection there initially. Or if we don't get rejected, maybe we go sideways. But I don't think we're just gonna punch right through. I mean, if we do punch right through, that'd be great for the Pudgy Penguin investors and traders out there. But I'm expecting some resistance here, because the resistance is coming from everybody that bought here in December that thought they were buying, you know, the lows for Pudgy Penguins. they're going to be back at break even if we get up to like 0.011 pennies here. So maybe they're not as fully convinced about Pudgy Penguins, especially after being underwater for a little bit here. They're going to click the sell button, and you might want to join them, especially if you're a day trader. You're going to want to join them at 0.011 pennies here. If we get past that area, then we got another high volume node here at about a penny and a half. A penny and a half is going to be the swing trade target for Pudgy Penguins. This might be where Pudgy Penguins comes up to, makes a lower high before going down to lower prices here. So maybe you can catch that before it starts going down on you. And you also got this green line this is coming in to try to knock us down. And this green line is the 50-day moving average, and that's sitting at about a little bit above a penny and a half. But I think by the time the price catches up to where this green line is at, they'll probably meet each other about a penny and a half. Is the long-term swing trade target for Pudgy Penguins. If I was doing like a YouTube short or a TikTok video, I would say penny and a half for January on Pudgy Penguins, and click the sell button. Not financial advice, but that's probably going to be the most you can get out of Pudgy Penguins, and that's still, measuring from where we are right now, that's still about a 60% gain. Anywhere between like 50 to 60% gain. So that's going to be good for a lot of people to get 60% back of their money if they're underwater, or to get like if they're buying Pudgy Penguins right now, to get a 60% gain from just buying it right now. That's going to be good for a lot of people, and I think that's your target to the upside for Pudgy Penguins. All right, let's see. Alright, Matthew is over here scamming people, is what you're saying, Lorraine? I can knock him out. I can take him out of the chat if that's the case. Yeah, he's a scammer. Let me see if I can get rid of him. Alright, first I'm going to mute so he can't say anything, and then I'm going to block him. Yeah. Alright. Thank you for letting me know, Lorraine. I just blocked him. Yeah, guys, don't listen to that Matthew guy there. He's trying to get people to message him, and then he's gonna say that he's gonna give you money, but he's probably gonna ask you for money first, and then just dip out on you. All right. Bart T says, are any markets open? You're new. Right now, the cryptocurrency markets are open. And cryptocurrency markets, you can trade 24/7, 365, 366 days on a leap year. You can trade crypto anytime you want. But I guess I'll give out my I give out my links here. If you are new to trading and you want to start trading crypto here, I do got some links here where you can either trade on MEXC exchange. WEEX is one of my favorites here because you get started with an email and they don't really do KYC. Don't forget to put the VIP code in there, the XBDP code in there. But if you click on this link on the Discord, you'll be able to start trading on WEEX exchange. Then I got a link here for Coinbase exchange, and I got a link here for Kraken exchange, and that's pretty much it for the cryptocurrency exchanges that I got referral codes for. Okay. And you can get started on the Meet Damien Discord server by clicking on this link here. That should be the link to join the Meet Damien Discord channel, which is free to join. And once you do join, you can come say hi to everybody here. And you got Cameron here posting up his gains. Share your gains if you want. This is what we talk about, different trades we're getting into. Like Canada Dry says he's taking a long on Bitcoin Cash at 590. All right. I've done some videos here about Pump.Fund. So this is like where we continue the conversation when I'm not live streaming here, guys. Might want to check that out. Let's see. Which low market caps do I like? Low market caps? Right now, the meme coins are kind of flying, so if you can get your hands on a meme coin that hasn't pumped up yet, might be worth taking a look at. Let's see. Some of the meme coins that I usually trade are like Dogecoin and Bonk, but those are already up like 8 or 9% right now. And then you got Shiba Inu up 7%. Kraken only up 6%. Fartcoin up 6.5%. So maybe might want to try those. Storage actually. Storage is only not doing anything today. This is a low market cap crypto coin. Looks like right now it's near the value area low, and it's near the 21 EMA. Maybe storage coin might have some room to run up to the upside here. And if it does, it looks like the 50-day moving average could provide resistance at 16, maybe 17 cents here. But this thing is trading at 12 cents, so that should be about like a 10, maybe 50% gain from where we are right now. So maybe storage coin. Yeah, you'd be up like 28% if it gets up to that 50-day moving average. Right there, 28%. And you're hoping that you maybe catch some bids like you did here in December 28th, December 27th, somewhere around that time when this thing just popped up out of nowhere and went up like 38% in one day. I would take a chance on storage because you know you could buy it right here and put your stop loss below the lows in December at like 0.109 pennies here. Put your stop loss right at that area, and if it does come down, you get stopped out. Hey, it didn't work out, right? But if it does work out, you could probably take some profit at like 28 cents. I'm sorry, not 28, 16, 17 cents, and be up 28, 29% here on storage. Yeah. H is asking how's Bitcoin looking. We've been looking at Bitcoin. If I look at Bitcoin again, it'll be like the third time, fourth time here. I usually do look at Bitcoin towards the end of the live stream. We are getting towards the end of it, so I guess I can look at it again. Let me just catch up on the chat here, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin again. Okay. All right. Lorraine says subscribe to the YouTube channels with lots of free tutorials. Thank you, Lorraine, for setting out the link here on TikTok for my my YouTube channel there. Thank you. And thank you for following me here, guys, on TikTok. Appreciate that. And Mar, thank you for following me. Let's see. Oh, Laos wants to look at XRP. All right, so we'll look at XRP and then Bitcoin. How about that? And then that'll be the end of the live stream here. Thank you, Mario, for sending me the heart me. Appreciate that. We got like 11,000 likes here, and I think, you know, probably like 10,000 of them probably came from Lorraine, but hey, you know, it helps. It helps. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at XRP now. Currently trading at $1.86, almost $1.87. And you can see I got the VRVP indicator, and I've already identified the levels to look out for here. So even if I turn the VRVP indicator off, which I'm going to do right now, I still got the levels to look out for here, okay? Because I already drew them out on the chart here. And XRP, stay above $1.81, please, okay? Which we're doing right now, but you know, just keep doing that. And then next target for the day traders should be about like $1.92 for the day traders here. And I think I put that up because 21 EMA was at that area. But also you can see like we got some candle wick highs, possible resistance here. And I think the VRVP indicator was also saying that that was an area to look out for. Yeah, $1.92 is what the VRVP indicator is saying here. So $1.92 for the day traders. If you're long in XRP, that should be your take profit. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do. If you want to stay in the trade a little bit longer, we do got $2.03 as another high volume node here for XRP. That could be a swing trade or a day trade if you want. You know, try to get to 203 here on XRP. And then of course the level that we are looking for XRP is to try to get back up to $2.20, which is that point of control, this blue line here. I also highlighted it here with the red line as well. But $2.20 is your upside target for XRP because there's going to be a lot of resistance at that area. You got some people that were buying XRP at $2.20 back here in June. Okay, right now they're underwater, and maybe they just want to break even and get out of XRP. And if they do that, then they're probably going to do that at $2.20. and you could come join them and get out of XRP at 220. All right. So I think that's what we got to look forward to for XRP is just, you know, 220 for now. I know it doesn't seem like that big of a target. I know there's some people out there that say XRP go to 10 bucks, XRP go to 500 bucks. But let's be realistic with ourselves because XRP doesn't really move like that. So, you know, XRP going up to like $2.20, that's still about an 18% gain here. And I think that's all you're going to get out of XRP. Unless it's going to be more bullish than that. If it's going to be more bullish than that, then, you know, we'll see how it handles itself at 220. But I'm expecting 220 to be the target to look for towards the end of January. And then we'll just take it, you know, one level at a time. Once we get to 220, then we'll see what the next levels will be going forward here. But I can just tell you, just as a bonus, like, XRP could get rejected at 256, which is where that 200-day moving average is at right now. Okay, that would be the next bonus level if XRP is going to be really, really bullish. All right, so now we'll take a look at Bitcoin, and then that's going to be it for today's live stream, guys. Here, Bitcoin currently trading at 88,355. I'll give you the quick levels to look out for. We've been trading in a range between 86,800 and 90,500. If we are going to continue being range bound on Bitcoin, then you should be looking for longs. The day traders should be looking for longs in their 86,800, and they should be looking for shorts at 90,400 or 90,500. Okay. Until we break out of this range, one way or the other, we're going to probably stay in it. Okay. So that's how I would trade Bitcoin right now, day trading it. And if I'm swing trading it and in it for a long, then I'm looking to see, like, maybe I could sell some Bitcoin at 91,400, which is another high volume node over here. But then we also got some other high volume nodes to look out for. I think 96K is going to be an area that we could possibly make a lower high on Bitcoin before, you know, we continue being bearish again, or maybe we go up a little bit past that because the volume starts to drop off on the VRB indicator. And then you got 101, 102K could be where Bitcoin makes a lower high and then rolls over and continues on being bearish. If Bitcoin can get past the 200-day moving average on 106, 107K here, then that puts you above this other lower high here in November. Also puts you above the 200-day moving average, and I think, you know, you could be cautiously optimistic about Bitcoin maybe doing something different here, where we try to make a run for all-time highs again on Bitcoin. Okay, but I would not get optimistic about Bitcoin making new all-time highs until you get up to this white line, and that's the value area high sitting at 114, 115K. If Bitcoin can do that, then I'll be like, all right, guys, maybe Bitcoin's doing something different this time. Maybe it's not a 4-year cycle anymore. Maybe it's a 5-year cycle. Maybe cycles aren't even a thing anymore for Bitcoin. But it has to get up to like 115K for me to start talking like that. Other than that, I'm looking out for, and I'm paying attention to, if Bitcoin's going to make a lower high, get rejected at some of these lower levels here. Maybe get rejected at the 50-day moving average, or, you know, rejected at the 200-day moving average before going back down to lower prices again. All right, but yeah, I think for now we are, you know, looking good on Bitcoin. Value area low is at around 81K. All right, you could see Bitcoin go down there if it loses 86K and it also loses 84K. Then yeah, 81K is coming up next for Bitcoin. Okay, but I don't think that's gonna happen here, guys, because I can be bullish here for the month of January, because if I look at the 3-day chart here on Bitcoin, and I go into the momentum indicators here, I look at the MACD indicator, you got a MACD crossover to the upside. Alright, usually when you get a MACD crossover to the upside, you're going to get green buying pressure candles showing up, and you already got that showing up over the last few days here. And last time we had a MACD crossover to the upside was April of last year. You guys remember what happened in April, May of last year? We had like, you know, we had Trump tariffs, pause on tariffs. We had Liberation Day, and then we had a nice little bull run on Bitcoin back in April and May of last year. So I think maybe we could get possibly a bull run a relief rally, something good here in January and February. But I don't know if it's good enough to make new all-time highs, but it might be good enough for us to get up to 100K. Yeah, at the very least here. So I think we shall see 90K on Bitcoin going into tonight and tomorrow. And I think we might see 100K Bitcoin later on in January, maybe February. But we shall see. That's why we always check on the charts here, guys, to see what might come next here. But I see a lot of good things here for Bitcoin on the higher time frames here, for it to at least get a relief rally. And then looking at the 4-hour time frame, the MACD is showing that selling pressure is dying down, and you got a MACD crossover to the upside. So that's why I think tomorrow we could see $90,000 Bitcoin all over again. Okay. So, yeah, guys, that's my closing thoughts here on Bitcoin. I am bullish and optimistic on Bitcoin for tonight and tomorrow. I'll continue to be bullish as we go up to higher prices and get past 90K, going up to like 96K. And I'll be looking out for lower highs once we get up to like 96K to like 100K. See if Bitcoin's actually going to push past that point. Okay. But that's what I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button. For my TikTok guys, you can double tap the screen. You can triple tap, quadruple tap it. Keep pushing those likes. Appreciate that. And then for my YouTube guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you've done so already. We're about to close out this live stream, but we'll listen to some music on the way out. And yeah, we'll try to do this again tomorrow, same time, around like 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, guys. Take care and good luck investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. Take care, guys.